Working out hard every day to be the best I can. I shifted to the right, shifted to the left, hunker down low and reach high to the sky. Got my rhythm down pat, so they say. I'm looking like a winner in every way. So when I hear somebody say, what a horse, I know they're talking about me, of course. And I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday. Yeah, I'm a prime example of a Tennessee walker, a high-stepping, fast-walking Tennessee talker. I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of What a Horse, the first one of the year.
Yes, sir.
Did you have a good year?
I had a pretty good year.
What did you do New Year's?
I just,
Be truthful.
well, I hung out with my son for a little while, and about 10:30, I got my lazy boy chair and I went to sleep, and then.
Well, I sacked out on the recliner to watch football.
Yeah.
But I can remember, now, we were sitting there talking about this. I could remember when about 8 o'clock years ago, I was just walking out the door.
Walking out the door, I hate you.
The sun would be coming up when I come home, but those days are gone.
Yes.
Can't do that anymore.
When you get a little older, it slows down a lot.
It slows you down a lot, but now the football games were good. They didn't go in my favor, but all in all, it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. I hope everybody else had a good.
Yep, I want to tell everybody Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. We're going to give them a treat today. I'm not going to tell them what it is right now, but we'll take a commercial break. Then when we come back, I'll tell them what we're going to do, and then we're going to talk about the industry. How's that?
That'll work.
And you got to do your gig.
Well, we'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome to where the 5 to 9 more than makes up for the 9 to 5. To where you check your troubles, along with your coat. And days are made, even at 10 at night. Welcome to the best time you've ever had, since the last time you were here. To old friends, new experiences, and forgotten cares. Welcome to where life moves at the speed of you. Welcome to Sam's Town Tunica Hotel and Gambling Hall by Boyd. Welcome to where you want to be.
Instead of telling you about an affordable communication service that will save you money for a rainy day, I'm going to let one of my clients from Columbia Dental Group tell you all about Host My Services.
You're not losing any service, your phone calls, you don't drop any calls, have any issues at all. They have the app where if you have an off-site person, they just have the app on their phone, they can use it from there. Like, you should definitely get a quote, because even buying a whole new phone system is cheaper than what you're going to pay for with Verizon or AT&T or anybody else through them. And the quality is great.
Just the customer service.
Customer service, I talked to him.
There's two things to remember when checking out Host My Communication Services. Number one is free analysis of your current communications cost. Number two is there's no capital outlay for the equipment. Two great reasons to call 931-581-4411 today and start saving for that rainy day.
People in Tennessee are starting a movement.
Ouch. Thank you.
To clean up the litter on our roadways. Litter hurts our environment and endangers wildlife, and it affects our quality of life.
Here, grab me. Thank you.
Help keep our state litter-free.
Let's roll.
Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and be a part of the solution to end littering.
Saving the best for last.
That's right. Nobody trashes Tennessee.
Folks, this is where you send money to help in the legal fund to combat the new proposed rulemaking that the USDA released here a couple weeks ago. This is tax-deductible donation as fast as a 501c3, and be sure to put legal fund on your memo line, as this guarantees that your money goes exactly where you want it to go.
All right, we're back. Well, we're going to do, I've had a lot of people talk to me, and I know you have too, about how long we've been doing What a Horse. And today we're going to be showing exactly how long we've been doing it, because we're going to talk about the industry a little bit, but then we're going to go back to the first show that we ever did. And it was funny how it got started. My son came to me and wanted to know why I would go to walking horse shows knowing everything about the walking horse.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I asked him, I said, what do you mean? He started telling me these horror stories. And I said, Josh, that's just a plain out lie. But none of that is true. I said, even in the worst, what you're saying wasn't true. And that night I asked my wife what she thought. And she said, well, I don't know. She didn't go to shows like I did. I was since I was 10 years old, I've loved the walking horse. But anyway, make a long story short, the next day I called Jimmy Fuller and told him what I wanted to do. And I said, I'm gonna have to find out the best barn to go to start it. So I went and talked to two of my oldest friends that in the horse industry that I'd known for years. I talked to Ronnie Spears, and I talked to Billy Gray. And both of them told me, said, hey, we'll tell you the family to go interview. I said, all right. Then they told me to go to Derickson's. Well, then I had to talk to Derickson's, and they agreed. They were real good. But that's when the girls were young, and the boys were babies. I mean, this was years ago, but it really led to something that was going to be 10 weeks, 10 shows, and I was done.
Yeah.
And that was a little over, well, it was right at 23 years ago. A little over 23.
And look at you now.
Yeah, I'm still wondering why I'm doing it. We're still fighting the same battle that I started What a Horse.
Yeah.
To show, and we have shown through the years that the stuff that's being said, at one time, some of it was true.
Yeah.
But it's not true anymore. And I don't know what's going to happen, but February the 1st, they're supposed to come out with their new rule. Of course, we got 2 court cases. And just so people know, Jerry makes his living training horses.
Yes.
So explain exactly how that will affect you.
That would affect me a lot. You know, that's all I ever done all my life. It's fool with horses. My dad trained horses, his dad trained horses, and I mean, I was raised up in this business. And I mean, just like I was telling somebody the other day, I'm at the age now where I'm too young to draw Social Security, but too old to work in a factory to keep up with young people. You know?
That's fact.
And I mean, the thing of it is, I mean, it will affect a lot of people. And I mean, this horse have done so much for people's livelihood, and taught them how to stay out of trouble, how to go places where they probably would never been able to go in their lifetime, you know, without this horse. And I wrote a thing a while back about what this horse means to me. And this Tennessee walking horse breed mean a lot to me and my family, because I raised my family, my dad raised us on it, you know. And I mean, and I'm raising and I help raising my grandkids around the horses and stuff like that. And you see just as much as I do when they come around there, how much they didn't change from the first time you come there and to now.
I remember the day that your daughter brought them in there, and she was making them sit over in the chairs, and now they're grooming horses.
That's right.
Going to help them. And if I give them cookies, they got to do the cookies too. So
the horse is a good education. These Tennessee walking horses is a good education for kids and taking responsibility.
More than that, Jerry. I really do. I believe it. If you, especially your littlest one.
Yeah.
Now she is very. I mean, she's independent. She's over here. She don't want nothing to do with nobody over here. But now she's opening. It's like watching a flower bloom. She's just getting more and more active in stuff she does. And I look at all the different therapy classes.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids, it helps the kids, but we've got to realize that the Tennessee walking horse is vital to the state of Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's go ahead and say what you was going to say.
So what I'm saying is that just like my little granddaughter, the little one, when she first come there, she wouldn't hardly say nothing. My daughter was worried about it, what she was going to ever talk or what she was going to ever do stuff. So she started putting her through speech therapy at the hospital. And so over the period of time she been at the barn, she been talking a lot more, and so she went. And the other day, told us, well, y'all don't believe you have to go no more. What happened? She showed change money, and she told us that she been hanging out at the barn. She said, you just keep her at that barn because she's doing real good.
Well, she talks to me now.
Yeah.
And at one time, she wouldn't have nothing. I gave her a piece of candy. She would bump fists, but that's it. But you had to give her the candy first. She wouldn't do it. But this is the things that people, the public, needs to know and support the walking horse. And that's why I keep on people. We need to win our lawsuits. So after the first, that we've got grounds that we can do something about what the USDA is wanting to do, because in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, and this is true fact, what the USDA is wanting to do is based on no facts, nothing. It's just because they want to do it. And in my opinion, the only reason they want to do it is because the Humane Society wants to do it.
Yes.
And people need to, now when they're coming after us and they keep on and keep on hammering, and our horses just keep on getting better.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
But some of these other breeds are finally realizing that, hey, if they do that to the walking horse, they can do it to anybody. And that's what they're going to prove it, because the Horse Protection Act cannot be used to target one breed.
No.
If they were saying, well, we're going to, anybody that uses a horse to cut cattle, we're going to stop that.
Yes.
Well, now that's targeting one breed. Even though other breeds will cut cattle, but everybody knows the master of cutting cattle is quarter horse.
Yeah.
It just, number one, it's unethical, it's unconstitutional, and it's based on a lie. And I will tell any of them that. They can say what they want to, they can claim what they want to, but USDA even paid to have these tests run and everything, even by the Academic Science Society or academies. They'd run all this testing and it came back that the pads and the action device do absolutely no harm to the horse. But they're trying to say, well, it harms the Tennessee walking horse. If it harms Tennessee walking horse, how come we got horses in their 20s still showing?
They're still showing and stuff like that.
We got a classic horse class.
You know, it's just like anything else. You're gonna have bad things in anything you do. But when something goes wrong, you got to get on to the person that done the crime, not the whole industry or whatever. That's just like football players. When football players, they do drugs and they fail a drug test or whatever, they get on the person that they found dirty with drugs. They don't do football and say, well, we're gonna shut down football because we found 4 or 5 different people that was on drugs.
That's fact, and that's what. But I will go a step further, and some people are fixing to get PO'd at what I'm fixing to say. But if I'm in a business, and you're my friend, but if what you're doing is going to affect my business and how I make a living and my family, then you and I are going to have a heart-to-heart talk.
That's right.
And that's something that all the trainers out here that are wanting to do everything by the book, that small percentage of the trainers who stretch the rubber band, so to speak, all of you need to have a talk with them and say, hey, you're either going to do it this way or you're out. Because that's the way we move forward, is we get everybody on the same page, and we will still have those that try to outdo everybody else and don't mind cheating. But the fact is, if you start calling them and calling their hand on it and pointing them out, then in all honesty, we'd be better off.
Oh yeah, you exactly right on that.
Because we've got, just like now, we had a sale. There's some great horses went through the sale, but the Tennessee walking horse is so much more than a performance horse, a padded horse, a flat shot horse. There's a lot of things the horses can do, but it's always going to come back to the padded performance horse is what drives this industry.
That's right.
Everybody wants to breed to a world grand champion Tennessee performance horse. And that's, as long as we do what we're supposed to do, and I'll be honest, when you look at videos and you see VMOs intentionally doing things to make a horse move, or they're pulling hairs apart and scratching around trying to say, well, there's something right here, or the old reliable 3 cells thick, that's not right. Just like this girl out here. We have caught her so many times turning that thumb up and sticking it down in that pocket to get a reaction so she can turn a horse down. Here's another one doing the same thing. These are actions that are unlawful, but they're using those actions against us, and just like these lawsuits. We've got the proof that they're lying. We've got the proof that there's nothing wrong with these horses. But when they can run 58 biopsies, and out of 58 biopsies, they find no scars. When you take a horse from the celebration and take it to an equine clinic, and they can find nothing wrong with that horse, but you've got people working for the USDA that, in all honesty, and I'll say it, if they could make a living in the regular world, they wouldn't be working for the USDA, and it's really that simple.
Well, the thing of it is, Jerry, you know, they start off with one thing and then they're going to end up somewhere else. You know, they starting off trying to take the shoes and the action advice from Tennessee walking horses. Later on, you know, they're going to say, well, Sal put a rub on a horse, so we're going to take saddles away. Next thing we're going to know, we're going to take the bridles away. And I mean, you're going to be a point where you ain't going to, for any breed of a horse or anything of a horse, you ain't going to be able to do nothing with them, because the Humane Society going to say, oh, we can't, you know, we ain't going to be able to put no bridles on their mouth, or we ain't going to be able to put no saddles on their back, or whatever.
Well, that's our main problem today, is we listen to the minority too much, rather than looking at everything and using common sense, just common sense. If I go out here and I pay the kind of money that some of these horses are selling for, I am not.
And you know, you always got to have some kind of ruling to keep people on the right side of the fence or whatever.
Well, you got to have those rules.
You got to have the rules. But now, if you think about the Humane Society, you just look at all the shelters, local shelters that's around, and how much they got to have help and got to get volunteers to take care of the dogs and all this stuff. But all the money that they collect and all the money that they get, you still, all these towns got to get local people to adopt, to take a dog home for Christmas or take a dog home for the holidays, because they can't afford to pay nobody.
Or you take dogs to the shelters, and the Humane Society says they need this much, and this much, and then you got other humane groups doing the same thing. Every one of them wanting one thing, $19.95 a month. Well, I'll tell everybody out there watching this, send me $19.95 a month. I promise I will not abuse no horse.
That's right.
So, I mean, it does get ridiculous, but that's what the USDA is all about, is listening to the Humane Society of the United States and pointing the finger at us. And other breeds that wanted to point the finger at us, hey, get in line, because, buddy, you're next.
You next.
Y'all can think that you're immune to it all you want to.
But you know, they put all these little pictures out here on these animals on TV, and donate this and donate that. But now when you go around to your local place that's there in town where you live at, and you ask them how much money that they got from them to help them and stuff like that, they ain't getting none.
They can get a dime, less than 1/2 of 1%.
That's right.
It's just ridiculous, folks. But I tell you what, we're going to go straight into watching the Dericksons.
That'll work.
Because this was an interview that lasted quite a while. Jimmy Fuller was doing the interviewing then, and but it was great. I met the Dericksons, and I have been friends with them ever since.
That's a good family, real good family.
After today, y'all can too. So here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What a Horse. I'm Jim Fuller along with my colleague Jerry Harris. And Jerry, we're really going to have a good time today because we're certainly at a beautiful place. Tell us where we are, Jerry.
We're at the Herbert Derickson Breeding and Training Facility on Mullins Mill Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee. We're going to be visiting with Herbert, watching him do some training on his horses, and he's even going to do a little coaching for the girls.
I'm going to tell you what, and how appropriate that we would start this series, Jerry, in the walking horse capital of the world in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
It's going to be a great year.
It's going to be a great one. Let's look around this facility. What do you say?
Let's go.
Folks, we are here talking with Herbert Derickson, who is I referred to him as the owner of the facility, but he corrected me really quick and said, no, I'm not the owner of the facility, my wife is.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a family-owned business, is that correct?
Right, we like to think of it as a family-owned business, operated.
How long have you guys been doing this, Herbert?
Well, since we've been married, my wife and I, Jill, have been doing this for 17 years now together.
Mm-hmm.
So,
was this kind of, how did you get into this business? Did you grow up in it?
Yeah, it was a part of my family and a part of her family also. Jill and I both grew up in this industry and just feel like it's a good family atmosphere. It's where you can go with your family on the weekends and have a good time.
This has to be a very gratifying thing to you because you're probably working, making a living, doing something you really love to do.
You have to. You have to love it, or the hours and the effort that you put into it would just be a tax that you wouldn't want to put into something you didn't love.
Tell us a little bit about your day. Now, how does your typical day go, Herbert?
We're out here at 7:30. We start riding horses right away. Of course, we do the feeding and ride horses right away, and we ride up until late in the evening. My wife is the manager of the breeding operation. She's really taken a good position there that's really helped us out a lot there. So it's a little bit of everything.
So an operation such as this, Herbert, it entails breeding horses, training horses, and there's several different facets to this.
That is correct. Our establishment, we like to think as a full service. We give riding lessons. We, of course, train horses, show horses. We have all different types of stallions that we stand for the public. So it's about whatever you need to do with a walking horse, we try to offer it.
How many horses do you have here at this facility today?
Right now we have approximately 50 horses in training. With the breeding and other facets we have, the yearlings and brood mares, we have probably close to 100.
Close to 100. So that's got to be a big job. And we have some dogs here as well, you know. Okay.
Got dogs, cats, whatever you need.
Okay. You, I know, Herbert, are a well-respected trainer. I know that you've won some championships. Tell me about maybe the biggest one you've ever won.
Well, I think the most gratifying and the most honored championship we accomplished is when our daughters won. Both of our daughters, we have twin daughters, and I'm not going to say which one I enjoyed the most because that'll get me in trouble, but I really have to say that's probably a highlight of my career, seeing my daughters win their juvenile and pony championships.
You mentioned actually training the horses. Now that's got to be an art as well. And do you actually work those horses every day? I mean, pretty much.
What we try to do is to adapt the horse to a training program that we feel he's capable of taking on. We don't want to overdo him, but we also want to keep them busy with their work and just try to make it that way. But normally about 4 to 5 days a week is normal.
How old are the horses when you first start to train them, Herbert?
Well, we don't like to start young horses any earlier than 17, 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have opportunities or people that would like for us to start them a little early, but we don't really like to any earlier than 17, 18 months.
Okay. So as a trainer, do you sort of see, when you first see that horse out here, can you kind of realize what his potential might be?
We do. We've got our own opinions about how a horse moves, a young horse, and what we feel like he can do in the future. But until we start training the horse, even if we don't think he has the look about him, we give him the opportunity, and sometimes that pans out to be good too. So we just have our opinion until we get started.
Okay. You mentioned also that you had a breeding operation here, and I think we've seen some of those horses behind us here.
These are part of them. The rest of them are kind of in the back part, finishing up their breakfast. But we have probably about 150 mares we breed each year. You know, that kind of fluctuates up or down, and hopefully it's up a little bit this year. But we stand 6 different stallions, and a variety of pedigrees on those stallions, and it's turned out to be well-rounded program for us.
Herbert, you know, most of us know the economy's kind of been in sort of a depressed state here. How does that affect you and your business?
Well, I like to think that, you know, if you're going to stay up on top of the game, that you're going to survive in basically most businesses. Our economy here in the horse business has been pretty stable, to be honest, no pun intended. But it's the really good horses have continued to exceed prices that the year before has been. Some of your lesser quality horses have not kept up, but you know, this business has been very resilient over the years, and the fact that the sales of horses have continued no matter what the state of the economy has.
So those good horses still bring top dollar.
Still sell for good money.
Okay. We know that the celebration is coming up here pretty soon, Herbert. Any predictions? Have you seen any horses out there you think got a shot to win it?
Well, I really feel pretty strong about one contender. You know, for the World Grand Championship, I got to witness the horse Bill Bobo has, and he's probably my favorite, along with a large majority of the crowd. He's a beautiful big horse. It's got a lot of class, and I think he's going to be hard to beat. We got to watch him at the National Trainer Show in March, and he's a pretty special horse.
Okay, so you heard it from Herbert. Now he's making a. If you're a betting person, you know Herbert has made his prediction.
As long as I get my part out of it.
That's right. He needs a piece of the action here. Okay, Herbert, let's go look at some of these fine horses.
That's great.
All right.
Jim, that's Mike Healy riding, I believe he said Big Guy's Design. It's a 6-year-old gelding. Last year, I believe he said he was 3rd at the celebration.
Beautiful horse, Jerry, and I understand that it's owned by somebody locally here. I believe he said Patty Merrick from Bell Buckle, Wartrace, somewhere pretty close around here. So it's a hometown girl owns this horse. Jerry, I think you spent a lot of time around these kind of facilities in your earlier days too, didn't you?
Quite a bit. They never let me ride the good horses, though. I had to break coats, and the guys we've seen bringing the manure out of the stalls.
Right.
I did quite a bit of that too.
Well, everybody's got to start somewhere, Jerry.
My problem was I never climbed any higher. But I do love these horses.
So you don't think Herbert that we talked to earlier started out riding the champions, right? Right? Do you think?
I wouldn't imagine he started out cleaning out a stall. Boy, that one's walking now, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
Beautiful, beautiful horse. I'm going to ask Mike. He's a 6-year-old gelding. Mike, what class does that horse show in?
It shows 15-2 amateur mare and gelding.
15-2 amateur mare and gelding. And it'll be at the celebration this year.
Mike says he likes to pose for the camera too, so he's certainly not camera shy.
No, he's not. He stands right there and takes it.
Mike, how long have you had this horse here? You started him out here?
He was raised right here. Started.
Well, I believe Herbert's going to take one outside and let us see something outside.
All right.
We appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Giles Dunn is a leader in both cultured and lab-grown diamonds. Located at 234 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma, Tennessee, Giles Dunn is well known for his beautifully designed jewelry. From that special diamond for your special wedding day to the one that says I love you more, Giles Dunn is the place to shop if you want to say it with diamonds. Open 5 days a week and always ready to assist you in that one-in-a-lifetime purchase. To set an appointment for cultured or lab-grown diamond viewing, call 931-563-7800.
Hey Tennessee, Ross Chastain here, the guy who likes to smash watermelons on the front stretch at Nashville Superspeedway. But you know what I never smash? Safety rules. Racing's all about control, and the same goes for life on the road. So use your melon and don't mix drinking and driving. It's like trying to race with a busted engine. Be a pit crew hero, and if you've had a few, pass the keys to a sober friend, because we're all racing toward a safer Tennessee, and we want you there at the finish line.
Folks, this is where you send money to help in the legal fund to combat the new proposed rulemaking that the USDA released here a couple weeks ago. This is tax-deductible donation as fast as a 501c3, and be sure to put legal fund on your memo line, as this guarantees that your money goes exactly where you want it to go.
I'm here now with Jill Derickson, and Jill is the wife of Herbert, who I spoke to earlier. And just before we went on camera, I asked Jill, what's it like to be married to a horse trainer? Now, what was your answer you gave me?
Well, it's a full-time, challenging job to be married to a horse trainer, but it's also a wonderful thing because I had a love for horses prior to even meeting Herbert, so this has kind of been a dream of mine to live this kind of life.
Okay. Talking with Herbert earlier, he was telling us that it's really kind of a 7-day thing, is it pretty much? I mean, you guys work, when you're not training, you're showing.
Right, exactly, especially during the show season, spring and summer. It is 7 days a week, all day long. Type of job.
What is your function in the operation? I mean, Herbert's already told us that you're really the boss here. So, but I know you have specific functions that you do.
Yes,
Jill.
Mainly I run the office, manage the office, and then also at our training operation we have breeding as well as training, and we stand 6 different stallions, and I handle the breeding part of this operation. And we'll breed about 150 outside mares every year, and so I take care of all that, and he takes care of the training part of it.
You also ride too, I believe, do you not, Jill?
Yes, I ride and show.
And don't be modest, because I think you had a big finish. Was it last year in the horse? So tell us a little bit about that and about the horse.
I won a world championship last year on solar generated in the ladies auxiliary class, and one thing real special about that was 10 years ago that very time I won a world championship in that same class with a different horse that I owned. So it made it real special.
And was that horse trained right here? I would assume.
Yes, both horses were trained by Herbert.
Okay, all right. It's kind of a family affair as well. I believe I understood that your children ride too, do they?
Yes,
right?
We have twin daughters that are 16, and they ride and show and help here at the barn. And then we have a son that's 4 that already loves to ride with his daddy, and he'll be showing very soon also.
I believe I understood that that you give riding lessons here as well as training and other services. Now, is it necessary? I mean, is it wise for someone who has never been on a horse like myself to take lessons before they start riding?
Definitely. We look at it as in any sport that you take, whether it's golf or whatever, learning the most you can about what you're going to do and being prepared and taking lessons just helps you to better achieve success in what you're going to do. I give riding lessons to children as young as 4 and 5 years old, and give riding lessons to people that, some of them in their 60s and 70s, that have never ridden a horse, and that has been their lifelong dream, and we start them on a horse and put them in the show ring.
Unbelievable. So no matter how old you are, even if you're as old as I am, you can start.
Well, Give you lessons and teach you how to ride a horse.
Okay. Herbert had made the statement earlier today, and I don't know whether you know this or not, but that for people, and you've heard this before, I'm sure, that if you're new at riding, we have big horses for big people. Tell us that.
He says we have big horses for big people, little horses for little people. People that have ridden a lot, we have horses that have been ridden a lot, and people that have never ridden, we have horses that have never been ridden. Okay. And their eyes always get real big and they get a little scared at first. But we do have a lot of very nice lesson horses that we work with, and people really enjoy and can learn a lot.
Just if someone is watching this and wanting to take riding lessons, or what do they do? Just call you up and make an appointment?
Just call us and make an appointment, and we set it up. Usually it's on a weekly schedule. And as I said, we start at all levels. If you're interested in the pleasure part of the industry, just riding for pleasure, for show, for equitation riding, for performance horses, we offer it all.
Okay. Jill, I think we're going to look, your daughters are coming in a minute and they're going to be riding for us. So we're going to, let's go check that out.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, I think the country air must be getting to me, folks, because I'm obviously seeing double here today. These girls here look vaguely familiar to the young lady I was just talking to a moment ago. You are?
Maria Derickson.
And you are?
Erica Derickson.
Okay. Twins?
Yes.
Twins. Who would have ever guessed? Who would have ever guessed? They are the daughters of the Dericksons here, of course, and I think you guys are involved in this operation as well, are you not?
Yes, sir. Very much involved.
Okay. Tell us what some of the things you do.
We do a lot of dog walking, and that's just like conditioning the horses and getting them relaxed and worked out and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we help my dad train, and we ride a lot of the horses for him.
Okay. And the horses have to be ridden every day, I understand.
Yes, sir. Every day.
Okay. And did you start out cleaning the stables like your dad said he did?
No.
No. That is a definite. That is a definite no. Okay. You have, as it has everyone else in the family except the 4-year-old, who we're not going to get to see today, I don't guess. But you have won championships on your own, have you not?
Yes, I have. I won the Pony 12 to 14 championship.
Okay. And you have won?
I won 2 11 and under equitation world championships, and I won the 11 and under mare class with my pony Frivolous Choice, and I got reserve world grand champion on her too.
Okay. You do you how many shows do you enter every year, or do you participate in every year?
Just about every one.
So it's like
every weekend.
About every weekend you guys are involved in something like that. I understand that you also have some extracurricular activities as well.
Yes, we're Cascade High School cheerleaders.
Both of you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm not the only one that gets to see double all the time. Okay. And you, I would assume, plan to continue in this. You obviously enjoy this.
Definitely. It's a life-term thing. Yeah.
Do you see yourself growing up and being in this business like your mom and dad are?
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so we've already made those career choices already. Okay, all right. Well, I was going to get them to talk to us a little bit about their boyfriends, but they're afraid that their mom and dad might see the show, so they refuse absolutely to comment on that at all, I assume. Is that correct?
Yes.
What about you?
No, I don't think I'll comment on them.
No comment on that. All right, we'll be back. We're going to go out and look at some more of this beautiful, beautiful operation right here. We'll be right back in a moment. We're out here with some young ladies that are very special to you. I was just talking to them just a moment ago. You started them out young, didn't you?
Yeah, they've been riding since they were 4 years old. They really enjoy it.
So what are you doing out here with them today? What are they doing today?
Well, we're trying to get ready for the horse show.
Okay.
We're going to take them some last-minute instructions, and hopefully we can get them prepared to go win a blue.
Okay.
Right now we're looking at Erica and Maria. Erica's on the black horse. We're just going to kind of tweak up their performance here a little bit. Erica, you look good. Don't get too fast now. Right there, Maria. Good. This black horse is a juvenile horse that is shown in the 12 to 17. The little chestnut horse is a smaller horse. He's what we'll show in the pony classes.
Okay.
And
now, what do you mean by a juvenile horse?
Anything, they break it down into a few different divisions. You've got your 11 and under riders, or 11 years of age and under.
I see.
Then you have your 12 to 14 and your 15 to 17.
Okay.
And those are all, of course, for juvenile riders. And our girls will fit in the 15 to 17 category this year, being 16 going on 21.
16 going on 21, okay.
All right, girls, let's canter. Now, this is a real challenging gait for a lot of people, much less the amateur riders. Maria, you need to slow down a little bit, huh? Turn his head. Relax. Keep your hands low. That's enough. There we go. Good. Now this is what they call the rocking chair canter. It's a really comfortable, fun gait if executed properly. Like I said, it's a bit of an intimidating gait for some of your amateur riders, but our girls have taken the challenge and done very well at it. So
now, how do the girls relate to the horse what they want them to do?
There's a couple different cues. Okay, girls, stop. Stop, Erica. The canter cue is a process of getting your horse to respond to you. We put the horse at an angle in order to kind of throw his gait to one side, and the cue is they touch the horse on the inside leg, which is the correct lead. You have a left lead and a right lead, and going the first way and second way also. You'll turn the horse's head toward the rail, and you'll cue him by touching him on the shoulder with your foot.
I see.
And hopefully executes the rocking chair canter gait too.
Okay. So. Okay. They're getting ready for the show. So how much time will they spend working with these horses between now and then?
Well, today we want to keep the horses fresh, so we're not going to really put them through a hard, strenuous workout. Our conditioning is already in place. We're just going to get them comfortable with what they're going to execute both ways to the ring. So we're going to have already done the first way. We're going to turn around. We're going to try to do the same thing the second way.
Okay.
Okay, girls, let's go the other way. Now we'll start off with the flat walk, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's a slower gait than the running walk is. The running walk, of course, is a little more accelerated gait. Basically the same gait, but accelerated in speed. Erica, drop your hands down just a little bit, honey, so you can set his head just a little. There we go.
So the skill of the rider plays into this as well.
It really does, but if you've got a great horse, he can make up.
He can make up for any deficiencies in the rider.
Okay, girls, step up to your running walk a little bit. Right there, Maria. That's good. Right there, Erica. Use your left rein, honey. That'll in just a little. Now. Good. There we go. Okay, black flat walk. All right, now let's canter. That's the sequence in which the gaits are executed also. Your flat walk, your running walk, back to the flat walk, and then into the canter. Slow down, little Maria. Easy with your hands. Keep your hands low, Erica. If you'll notice, going this direction, the right leg is extending out, which is called the lead foot, and that is the correct lead for this way of the ring. So, you know, properly executed, that gets you where you need to be.
How old are these horses here?
Okay, girls, flat walk. That's good, flat walk. Can't hear good at it. Whoa! Stop! Go flat walk. This horse is 5, the little saw horse is 5, the black horse is 6. So they're relatively young horses for their division.
And how long will the career of a horse typically last in competition?
Properly cared for, we've had horses that have competed and won world championships up to 25 years of age.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Hill Perfection.
Hill Perfection.
It was 17, doesn't it?
We've got a horse now showing Fire and Ice is his name, and he's up into his 20s, and I think he's got 30-some, like 33 or 34 world champion titles, and he'll probably win another one this year.
Unbelievable. You mentioned something that I think is pretty, that I've been pretty impressed with here today, Herb, is that when you talk about if the horse is properly cared for,
right.
These horses are pretty much babied, aren't they?
Okay, girls, stop. They are. I mean, we really take ultimate care of these horses. They're fed a perfectly balanced diet. Their stalls are cleaned daily with fresh shavings, and I mean, most people in the world don't live as well as they do.
I was noticing that, and I think after they're worked out, you have to wash them down.
We give them a bath each day or showered up with clear water. And if they're going to shows, we'll give them a good shampoo, clip, and a lot of them really enjoy showing. They really do. It's just like anybody else, a performer that enjoys being out there in spotlight. And a lot of these horses know where they're at. They know that they're special, and they enjoy their jobs.
We saw, and I don't recall the horse's name, the gray horse we saw just a moment ago.
Big Guy Design.
Right. Now, he appeared to really like the camera.
Yeah, he's a show off.
He's a show horse.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a show off. But we enjoy showing horses, and our family enjoys it. It makes a great opportunity for the whole family, and you know, we just thank God for having us be in this business.
Your daughters I was talking to earlier, and they say that they know what they're going to do, that this is what they want to do with their lives.
I think they're going to be involved in it all their lives. Of course, as far as whether or not their livelihood depends on it, that
right.
will remain to seen, but they enjoy it.
Absolutely, and I can see why. How many acres do you have here, Herb?
We've got 65, and we kind of keep it crowded up, but we use all of it.
I can imagine that it's a big job just maintaining the facility itself.
We really try to keep it where it's something that people enjoy coming to, and keep it looking nice and maintained. And of course, there's always a fence to be mended or a stall to be prepared, so we keep a pretty good staff busy all the time.
How many employees do you have in your operation here?
Right now we have about 8. We could use another 1 or 2 on certain days, but right now we're about 8.
Well, I think the girls will help you, but just do not ask them to clean the stall.
No. That's out of the question.
That's out of the question. That's out of the question. That's out of the question. So this workout that you're doing today, how long will this last?
Normally, on a regular day, we'll use about 15 to 20 minutes of work time for a horse. Today, we're going to keep it a little short, like I said, in order to keep the horses fresh. We want to kind of keep their feelings good, their body fluids. We don't want to drain them of anything that could keep them putting on their best show.
Right. You mentioned something I thought it was interesting a little while ago. We were off camera, but you actually ride these horses. You've got a number of horses you ride every day.
Right. I usually keep about 25 on my working list, and hope to get about 22 in a day. Of course, 4 to 5 days a week pretty much gets a horse in top condition, so we can alternate 25 horses very, very good. And of course, Mike Healy, our other trainer here, does basically the same numbers for us, so we work in a pretty good day.
So that can be kind of exhausting at times. People think of riding horses as fun, and I know it is, but
well, I put it like this: some of these riders here, and they enjoy their horse, and they have so much fun, and they say, you get to do this every day. And I said, you know, it's really impossible to have 25 times as much fun as you do. So that's the way I put it to them. So it's a job.
And what you just mentioned, you're training people's horses, so that a lot of times the owners come out and just have fun with them, as you said, So
they usually come out about 1 day a week and kind of just practice their horse. Of course, we need to train the horse in preparation for a show, and then allow the amateurs, which we do a lot of amateur and juvenile riders here, we allow them to work with their horse about 1 day a week and kind of familiarize them, usually the day before a show, kind of like we're doing with the girls here.
Okay, all right. It sounds like fun, Herbert, but I know there's work to it.
It's work.
Okay.
The Tennessee walking horse is rapidly becoming the horse of choice when selecting a great ride for the family. If you're looking for a smooth, easy ride on the trail that will take you through hills and streams or an obstacle course competition, the versatility of the Tennessee walking horse will stand out by showing its willingness to learn and its smooth, easy, steady gait through the course. If it's a competitive show horse you're looking for, the Tennessee walking horse is the perfect family horse by young and old. Whether it's flat shod or padded performance classes for an amateur adult or youth, a walking horse is the horse of choice. The Tennessee walking horse is perfect for every equestrian division. Also remember one simple truth.
If you ride one today, you'll own one tomorrow. That's a fact.
Folks, this is where you send money to help in the legal fund to combat the new proposed rulemaking that the USDA released here a couple weeks ago. This is tax-deductible donation as fast as a 501c3, and be sure to put legal fund on your memo line, as this guarantees that your money goes exactly where you want it to go.
More of What a Horse coming up.
Jerry, we're watching Herbert out there working one of his horses here. Tell us a little bit about this horse.
This is Cut the Smoke. It's a 6-year-old amateur world champion, and he thinks he's got a good shot at it again this year. He is one beautiful horse.
He certainly is. And what do you think Herbert was working him on there just then?
That's a flat foot walk. Herbert also said that he's going to be, this is his first year standing at stud. So maybe we'll be seeing some of his offsprings in the years to come. But he is a beautiful, beautiful horse.
Herbert keeps saying about how much work this is. I think he really enjoys this, Jerry.
Oh, he does, and he does enjoy it. But I'd hate to mow this yard.
I would too.
I've been watching, they've been riding horses out here all morning, and I'm telling you, if I had to mow this yard, I'd be one of them girls now. I refuse. They're not going to work in the stable. But now they did say that, or Herbert said that he's got a 4-year-old son, that he's going to start him off in the stables.
Yes, I did promise that we'd come back over here and tell the young man that his sisters didn't have to do that.
That's right. His sisters got by without it. Herbert said he tries to just keep his horses fit. Don't want to overdo it, and especially on a real warm day, you don't want to drain the liquids out of them. But now that's a pretty gait going there.
Yes, it is.
That is a beautiful horse. I like the way the walking horse squats down, kind of reaches out. He's reaching up, and when you're up close, you can hear a distinctive heartbeat, or not heartbeat, but a hoofbeat.
Hoofbeat.
When they're walking by, that's just, there's not another sound like it. CJ got introduced to that over at the fun show, and he realized that there is a distinctive beat there. Here he comes, he's coming straight in at us, and you can just see how beautiful this horse really is. Well, Herbert, that's a pretty horse.
He's good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good one. He's a real good one.
I think he's one of the best horses I've ever rode with.
He is a beautiful. What color do you call that?
I'd call him chestnut.
Chestnut.
Got a mixed mane. I think that's real pretty on him.
I asked Herbert off camera a moment ago a question, which, as I told several of you that this is my first venture into this. I said, Herbert, can you tell these horses apart? Because there's 100 of them here on this farm, 50 or 60 he's training. And he says that he can tell them apart better than people, right, Herbert?
Yeah, I never did go through the Dale Carnegie course. So I didn't meet and recognize people with their names, but I really do, for some reason. I guess because it's always been a passion of mine. I recognize horses and know their names a lot better than I do people.
So I think that's a unique characteristic. Some of the horses, of course, are distinctly different to me, but some of them kind of run together. I'm impressed, Herbert. I'm very impressed.
It's my job.
It's your job. That's your job. That's right.
I spend more time doing this than I do anything else. It's the only job I've ever had.
Right.
I grew up with it, and it's just something that I've always had a passion to do.
Well, Herbert, I've got to tell you that Jerry and I certainly do appreciate you letting us come by today. And hi there, fella. No, he's wanting to be. No, Herbert says the horses have their own personalities, and this one wants to be on TV, right? Yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay. Herbert, you got a beautiful place here, and we certainly enjoyed your hospitality here today, and we thank you very much for letting us come by and be a part of that, and wish you a lot of luck in the upcoming shows.
Thank you a lot. We're glad to have you.
All right, thank you.
We're going to watch you ride off, Herbert, and then we'll be saying goodbye.
All right.
Now that's what a horse.
Yeah, that's what a horse.
That's it. What a horse.
Working out hard every day to be the best I can. I shifted to the right, shifted to the left, hunker down low and reach high to the sky. I got my rhythm down pat, so they say. I'm looking like a winner in every way. So when I hear somebody say, what a horse, I know they're talking about me, of course. And I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday. Yeah, I'm a prime example of a Tennessee walker, a high-stepping, fast-walking Tennessee talker. I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday. Off, start talking.